Have you ever had a day that starts calm and bright, with easy smiles and warm sunshine, and then suddenly everything turns upside down? That's exactly what happened to us. One moment, my partner Mia and I were wandering through the small park in our quiet neighborhood, holding hands and talking about baby names and summer trips. The next, Mia was on the ground, clutching her head and crying, while a woman we barely knew screamed like she was possessed. Her hands were tangled in Mia's hair. Yeah, that really happened. A few minutes later, my older brother, Jake, who's just back from military service, ran across the field and slammed into that woman so hard the whole park felt it. But before we get to that, I need to explain how this mess started. Our neighborhood looks like a postcard, tree-lined streets, matching fences, and an association that runs things like it's a royal court rather than a friendly group of neighbors. And leading this little kingdom was Shirley, the HOA president. She had bleach blonde hair, a constant fake smile, and always wore her sunglasses perched on her head like a crown. She carried a clipboard everywhere, like she was inspecting a prison instead of a place where families just want peace. We try to keep away from her. Mia is one of the kindest, most patient people you'll meet. She bakes cookies for new neighbors, volunteers at the local shelter, and somehow remembers everyone's birthdays. I work from home, fixing up old bikes in the garage, and usually keep my head down. But even we had run-ins with Shirley. First, she complained our mailbox was slightly shorter than the community standard. Then, our front garden didn't match the neighborhood look. And the worst was Halloween, when she said our fake spider webs and a talking skeleton were offensive because they upset her dog. She fined us for it. We paid quietly, not wanting to stir trouble. Then came that spring afternoon. It was the first warm day after weeks of cold, and the park was buzzing with kids on swings, couples walking dogs, and teens tossing a frisbee. Mia was 7 months pregnant, glowing with happiness, and holding a fresh lemonade she'd bought from a little stand. We were laughing about how our baby kicked during a nature show the night before. Out of nowhere, Shirley appeared, her heels clicking loudly as she strode over. No hello, no smile, just a cold stare behind her sunglasses. "I need to talk to you," she said sharply. Mia looked confused. I felt a knot in my stomach. "What's the problem?" I asked, trying to stay calm. Shirley ignored me, fixing her eyes on Mia. "You can't wear that here," she snapped, pointing at Mia's maternity shirt. It was a simple tee with baby on board and a small cartoon submarine. "Inappropriate for public spaces," Shirley declared. I blinked, thinking she must be joking. "It's just a shirt," Mia said softly. Shirley scoffed. "It's mocking the HOA's pool rules. We don't tolerate sarcasm or disrespect towards the leadership." I felt anger rising. "It's a joke, a harmless baby joke," I said. Shirley stepped closer, invading Mia's space. "I won't tolerate disrespect in my neighborhood." Mia raised her hands, stepping back. "Please don't yell." Then Shirley did something no one expected. She grabbed Mia's hair violently, yanking her down. Mia screamed, falling to her knees. Her lemonade spilled onto the grass. I froze for a moment, then everything moved fast. I grabbed Shirley's arm and yelled, "Let her go." People nearby stopped what they were doing, some pulling out phones to record. Kids paused their games, dogs started barking. Shirley screamed she was being attacked. Mia was crying, holding her head and her belly, trembling with fear. I looked around, unsure what to do first, call the police, help Mia up, or stop Shirley from running. Then I heard a shout, "Back off." I turned and saw Jake, my brother, sprinting across the park like a storm. Jake's a Marine, trained for moments like this. He's been through combat and doesn't tolerate anyone hurting his family, especially not Mia, who sends him care packages and even knitted him a beanie he still wears. Before Shirley could react, Jake tackled her down smoothly and firmly, pinning her arms. "Don't move." "I saw everything," he said. Shirley struggled, yelling, "I'm the HOA president. This is assault. Get off me." Neighbors gathered, some we knew, others strangers, all watching. A teenage girl nearby shouted, "I got all on video." I helped Mia to her feet. She was shaking but said through tears, "I'm okay. The baby's okay." Jake held Shirley down until the police arrived, called by witnesses. The officers watched the videos, which showed Shirley grabbing Mia's hair and pulling her down without cause. She was arrested for assault, disturbing the peace, and resisting arrest. Her mugshot quickly spread around the neighborhood. The HOA board met without her for the first time in years, and a few weeks later, she was voted out. Mia spent the rest of that day surrounded by love. Jake didn't leave her side. Our neighbors, some we barely knew, brought flowers, food, and even offered to help care for the baby when she arrived. 2 months later, when our daughter was born, Jake was the first to hold her after us. He was gentle, his strong hands soft as he cradled her. That day in the park could have gone many ways, but taught me this. You don't always choose your fights. Sometimes they come rushing at you like a storm. But when you have people who love you, who stand up for you when you can't, those battles don't break you. They make you stronger. Now, whenever I walk past that park, I think about how fast life can change. 1 minute you're holding a lemonade. The next you're helping your pregnant partner off the ground while your Marine brother becomes a one-man justice team. And Shirley? She finally learned being HOA president doesn't make you queen, especially when you cross the Marines family. In the quiet aftermath of that unforgettable day, life settled into a new rhythm for us. But the echoes of what happened lingered, shaping how we saw our neighborhood, ourselves, and the meaning of true community. At first, it was hard to believe that something so simple, a stroll through the park, a shirt, a few careless words, could spiral into such chaos. But that moment exposed the cracks beneath the polished surface of our perfect neighborhood. The same fences and manicured lawns that once symbolized safety suddenly felt like barriers, walls hiding judgment and cruelty disguised as rules. Mia and I learned firsthand that sometimes the people who wield power in small communities aren't the ones who deserve respect. They're the ones who abuse it. Shirley was supposed to keep peace, but instead, she sowed fear. Her idea of order was control, and when anyone stepped out of line, even in the smallest way, she didn't hesitate to punish them. It wasn't just about lawn decorations or shirts. It was about reminding us all who was in charge. But what stood out most wasn't Shirley's anger or her snap judgments. It was the strength that rose up in response. Jake, my brother, my protector, reminded me that family isn't just who you're born to. It's who stands by you when the world turns dark. His calm but fierce intervention didn't just stop a bad situation. It showed what real courage looks like. What surprised me, though, was how our neighbors responded after that day. Before, most people kept to themselves, nodding politely but never really connecting. But when word spread about what happened, the neighborhood changed. Doors opened, conversations started, and a new sense of solidarity grew. Strangers brought casseroles, offered to help with errands, even volunteered to watch our baby when we needed a break. It was as if everyone realized that behind every perfect neighborhood, there are real people with real struggles. And when one of us is hurt, we all feel it. This experience also made me rethink what it means to stand up for yourself and others. I used to believe fights were about loud words or physical confrontations. But sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to keep your dignity, to hold on to kindness, even when someone tries to tear it away. Mia's calm, even when Shirley attacked her, was its own kind of strength. She showed that courage isn't always loud. It's often quiet and steady. And then there's the baby. Our daughter's arrival felt like a new beginning, a reminder that life goes on and that love can heal even the deepest wounds. Watching Jake hold her gently, after all he'd done, made me proud in a way I can't fully describe. He had faced storms before, but this was something he protected with heart, not just muscle. Our story isn't just about a bad neighbor or a violent day in the park. It's about the fragile balance between control and freedom, fear and kindness, power and love. It's about how ordinary people, neighbors, family, friends, can come together to defend what matters most. Walking through that park now, I remember how quickly life can change. But instead of fear, it gives me strength. We're stronger when we stand together. Shirley never understood real leadership. It's about respect and care, not control. Her time ended when she lost trust and respect. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a natural consequence of losing sight of what matters. This changed us. Life's not easy, but with love and support, we can face anything. Here's to unexpected battles, family who stands by you, and the quiet strength that keeps us moving forward.